place. This is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports. It's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports. Time to change your approach with Aaron Holzman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Daily. Dudes Who Bet Sports. See, I'm already flustered. The sun is in my eyes. I can't see anything. So anyway, I'm battling through it though, Papa Dude.
I know, and the sun will move. The sun will move. I think this will last about 15 minutes. Yeah, hopefully, because I can't even see. Can't even see who's. No, I'm just kidding. I can. We got a big show. We're going to talk about the games. Obviously, Thanksgiving weekend, always good for football. So we got all the coverage that you want for that. We got a couple of other topics we're going to get into today as well. Dennis wrote in a question, so we'll have that as well. Good. So yeah, it's going to be good. No, listen, the sun does move, JL. It moves in the sky. Oh, actually, no. You're right. We move. Gotcha. Yeah. Thanks, JL. It's so I've got the shade that's blocking the sun, but there's like little lines, like strips in it. So yeah. All right. Well, look, let's get into it. I've already embarrassed myself a couple times on the show, so I know I was wrong. All right, let's get into it. Let's go to the college game. Let's do college first, then we'll do the NFL. It's always a tradition that we have the Egg Bowl to kick us off Thursday. So tomorrow on Thanksgiving, Ole Miss and Mississippi State kick us off in this one. Mississippi, a 10-point favorite here. I don't think they'll have much trouble with Mississippi State. It's a big game, obviously, though, with the rivalry. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow with this one? Yeah, this one's kind of a dud compared to what some of them have been, the last couple of years. Last 5 or 6 years. Both of them have been decent. Mississippi State is down, playing a little better right now. Game's at home. I don't think Mississippi's a whole lot better than they are. So I think this will be kind of close for a while, but I think Ole Miss gets them. I'm going to take Mississippi in the points. I think they get them late. I'm with you. I'm taking Mississippi and the points here as well. Big game for Mississippi State as far as bowl eligibility. I don't know if the kids really care about that anymore. That used to be a thing. Now probably not as much. So I'm with you. I think Ole Miss covers in this spot. All right, we'll go to the 11 o'clock games now on Friday. And OU with a rare Friday game. We'll be going to Oklahoma at home, a 10-point favorite against TCU. What do you think is going to happen in this one? I'm glad this is a Friday game. I'm glad it's at 11. The one thing is there are some good Friday games we're not going to be able to see. That's an issue. But if it was a Saturday game, we couldn't see Ohio State and Michigan on Saturday. So that's why I'm glad this one's Friday. Questions about OU in this one is the quarterback situation. They're acting like Dylan Gabriel might play. I don't think so. I just don't. You have a concussion. There's a lot of mystery to this because usually when he got hurt right before the half up at BYU, and no one saw him in the second half. Mm-hmm. He didn't come out and watch the second half, which I don't know why. Most of the time when a player gets a concussion and it's not a bad one, they come out and at least watch the second half, and he didn't. So that's interesting. I don't really know why. And so, they're being vague about it down there, like he might play. I don't think he is. So when you look at this game, the spread is 10. I think if Gabriel was playing, it would be 17. Mm-hmm. I really do. TCU is very good offensively. And that's why this is a scary game for OU because they got a backup quarterback. They're going to have to score points. TCU will score some points against OU. I think OU is going to rally around him, though, and I think they'll cover. But I think this one's going to be tight for a long time. I'm going to pick TCU in the points here. I think this game will be a lot tougher than what a lot of people think. I think, anytime you got a backup quarterback in there, it is a little bit worrisome. I do think Jackson Arnold will play pretty well, but still, it's tough. And I think the line tells you that Jackson Arnold's starting. It's not going to be Dylan Gabriel. No. And logic tells you that as well. He got a concussion last year. He didn't come back until 2 weeks, and that's probably what's going to happen here.
So, and again, it's his second concussion in as many years. So I don't know if that plays a factor in it or not.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think TCU covers this game. I think OU will play better, but again, you got a true freshman out there, quarterback. You got a wide receiver in Jalil Farouk, who I don't know will play either, to be honest with you. So I think the injury situation makes this pretty interesting if you want to play the underdog here with TCU.
Cool.
But
yeah, and that in
what
fact
happens.
they can score,
Yep.
So that's the scary part in this one. They will put up some points. We're going to score points to win.
Yep.
I hope you're wrong because I don't want to sit through a seat squirmer. But anyway, I think it's going to be too. But I think they may cover that just barely late.
You look at the games TCU have been involved in; they've lost some close ones. You know, they had Texas with a chance to beat them, and they didn't. I mean, listen, and again, maybe they'll have OU a chance to beat them, and they don't. But that if that happens, that means they're probably going to cover the 10 points. So.
Yeah.
Too much going on. I mean, I thought Gabriel was playing really well up at BYU before the injury. So if Gabriel does play, I tend to lean Oklahoma minus 10. But if it's announced he's going to play, it's probably going to be about minus 13, I would think. So we'll see on that one. Going to be interesting. All right.
They're going to announce he's going to play till kickoff.
He's not going to play.
I don't think so either.
I would not count on it. All right, let's go to Iowa and Nebraska. And yes, the record low for the over-under, 26.5. The over-under here for Iowa, Nebraska. Nebraska, surprisingly, Papa Dude, a 2-point favorite in this game. I thought that was really surprising. Iowa, of course, 9-2. They're going to play in the Big Ten championship game next week. What do you think happens in Lincoln on Friday?
I'm shocked at that line as well. Yeah, Nebraska's lost 3 straight. They realize they were once 5-3, and they've lost 3 in a row, all close, all games they should have won. There isn't much difference in the teams at all. But there's one major difference. Iowa wins and Nebraska doesn't, right?
Yep.
I'm going Hawkeyes. I just can't pick Nebraska. I just think Iowa wins these kind of games. And I think it's going to be 13-10. So there you go.
Yeah, I would go under on the total, honestly. I would. Even though it's 26.5, I would still go under. Nebraska has had some chances to get bowl eligible, haven't been able to do it. And again, kind of maybe an old school thing. I always think, bowl eligible means a lot, but to these players, it may not. I just don't know what Nebraska's done to be favored quite literally over anybody. I mean, I know, hey, they're a little better this year. They may go to a bowl. This is still not a very good team. And
horrible team.
I don't think Iowa's any good either, but they're 9-2. And like you said, they win these close games. You look at the Illinois game last week, good example. Pretty much the same team, except Iowa finds a way to win.
Yeah.
I think they'll find a way to win in Lincoln. So give me the Hawkeyes as well. Again, I'm going under the 26.
Wasn't last week they broke a big long run? Yeah.
Yep.
It was late in the game. They broke a big long run.
Yep.
One of the games they lost, they got a horrible, horrible call. They ran a punt back to win that one. That's just what they do.
This is an Iowa team. If they don't get that bad call, they're 10-1.
10-1.
With their only loss coming, 31-0 in the hands of Penn State. It wasn't a competitive game, but still, they're 10-1.
10-1.
If that. So it's crazy. Yeah, and I kind of agree with Rob. He said it's almost just too fishy. Yeah, a little bit, right? I mean, that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't know if you really want to try to count on Nebraska either.
No.
So it's
if you look at the stats of the two teams, I bet they're almost identical.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, and then you're sitting there thinking, okay, I've got to set a line and it's Vegas, let's go with the home team. But what they're leaving out is one team wins and the other one doesn't. By the way, getting bowl eligible would 15 years ago been ridiculous for Nebraska to be getting thrilled about. But now I would think going to a bowl game would be a big deal for them.
Yep. I would think so too. I don't know if the players feel that way, but the coaching staff and obviously the fans would totally feel that way. So
they haven't been to a bowl game in what? 6, 7 years.
It's been a while. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's been that long.
I
Oh
don't
boy,
think
I don't
they've had a
think
winning
Frost
record.
ever went to one. Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
man. Yeah, that's. Look, I definitely think they're better this year, but
Yeah.
they've blown some chances for sure. So.
They've got to get a quarterback. They got to go get one. They'll win in that. Well, that's all going to change when the UCLA and USC. That I don't know how they're going to divide those divisions up. So
yeah. Well, the bottom line is, I think the line is about right, being 2 points one way or the other. I just think the wrong team is favored.
I agree.
Iowa -2, I'd be like, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
So. All right, let's keep going. UTSA at Tulane. This is a great game. If you like college football, this is a good one. Tulane, a 3.5-point favorite here at home against UTSA. They have not played well, talking about Tulane. They haven't played well, but they just keep winning.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get another one this week against the Roadrunners?
I tell you, I don't know. This is one I'm strongly thinking about taking the Roadrunners. I watched them whatever night it was. I think it was last Friday night. They were my best bet against, I don't remember. But anyway, they got behind and then boom, they got to roll. And their quarterback is really playing well. Frank Harris, who was injured early in the year, and that's why they have 3 losses. They were picked to win the conference in the preseason, and they played well. They're 7-0. In the conference. So they had 3 non-conference games, and one of them was against Tennessee, I think. So they are on a roll. Tulane's just been hanging on. So do they put it all together for that last finale and win the conference again? Or is this other team going to come in there and ambush them? So this is a toughie to pick. I'm going to go with the Roadrunners to beat them.
I'm going Tulane. I kind of think they might just be one of these teams that wins. Maybe they kind of lost their focus a little bit. I thought they played better last week. They did cover last week. I thought they were a little bit better. I think they're going to beat UTSA. I just think it's still Tulane's to lose. I think they're going to get the job done. And I think Tulane SMU is what will happen if they win. That's going to be a great game next week for that conference championship. And even if it's UTSA and SMU, that's still good too.
It is. And don't they play that game at the team that has the best record?
Yes. Yeah. At least they have in the past. Yes.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to watch that game as well. Conference championship game. Some of them are going to be pretty bad next week, and some of them are going to be really good. So we'll keep an eye on that and talk about that next week. But as we keep going here, Missouri on the road against Arkansas has come out that Sam Pittman is staying at Arkansas. He will not be fired. So I don't know if that's good or bad or what, but Missouri, number 9 in the country, they almost lost to Florida last week. Kind of a letdown game after killing Tennessee. They go to Arkansas. It's only a 7.5-point spread here. Missouri's a 7.5-point favorite. What do you think?
Yeah, Missouri gets no respect.
No.
They're number 9 in the nation, and they're not getting any respect at all. This is Arkansas's bowl game. This is their bowl game. I think the players like Pittman. I do. I think they like him. If I was a Missouri fan, I would be scared to death of this one. I think this has got upset written all over it because Arkansas is not as bad as that 4-7 record. They're not. When they have played well, they almost beat Alabama. They've got some players. The key is, will they be motivated enough to take on this Missouri team? 7.5. I think that's what Vegas is thinking as well. I'm going to take Arkansas on the points. I would not be surprised to see Arkansas win.
I would be pretty shocked. I would be pretty shocked. I'm with Dennis. This feels like a really fishy line, and I've got, I'm always taking the team that Vegas is telling you don't take this team. I'm not taking Arkansas. I mean, you can make the case that maybe they get them and they play them close, but you just look at what this team's done at home. I don't see how you could think they're going to beat Missouri. I just don't. You look at Missouri last week. We talk about this all the time. That's a game where a normal Missouri team would have lost, right? They get a big win, and the next week they get beat. They found a way to win the game, and it wasn't pretty, but that just shows me they're a little bit different. I kind of think this will be a blowout. I think Missouri will kill them.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I just can't. I just don't know how Arkansas, as bad as it's been the last few weeks, and with the coaching situation, and I don't know. I mean, it is kind of their bowl game for sure, but I just don't know how anybody's. I don't see like a big spirited effort, I guess is what I'm getting at. I think Missouri comes in there, dominates them, and I think it helps that Missouri played that close game, kind of like that wake-up call that Mark kind of alluded to a little bit earlier in the chat. So I'm on the Tigers big time in this one. All right, Texas Tech and Texas. This could be the last time these two teams meet. The Longhorns, 12.5-point favorites here at home against the Red Raiders.
Another team just kind of ekes out games. Texas does. It's the OU game. They have played a bunch of close ones. They're at home. Tech's already bowl eligible. They're one of those programs that means something to get in a bowl. I think Texas rolls. I'm going to pick them easy.
I was fairly impressed last week with Texas. I thought they played pretty tough up at Ames. It's not an easy place to go win at night. I think Texas, I'm not going to say easy, and I'm not going to bet minus 12.5 with Texas because they do seem to play teams close. I think they're going to win. I don't think they're going to be in too much of fear of losing this one. All right, Penn State, 21-point favorite on the road at Michigan State. Penn State trying to get to 10 wins here. What do you think about this one?
I think they're going to get to 10 wins. It's on the road. Michigan State's playing better. I don't know, Penn State. Well, they did beat Rutgers last week by 21, but that was at home.
Yep.
Can they do it 2 weeks in a row? I don't know. Michigan State's playing, like I said, a little bit better. I think you can find better things to bet. This one's too iffy. If I had to choose, I'd take Michigan State and the points, but I think Penn State's going to win easy.
I think there's better games to bet because I do think you're just kind of flipping a coin. Okay, is Penn State going to win by 14? Are they going to win by 21, 24? I mean, it's probably going to be around there. It's just, I don't. Usually if I'm going to take a team minus 21, I want to do it with the thought that, hey, they could go win the game 42-14. And you're not really sweating a touchdown, a field goal, something like that. I don't really view that with Penn State. I don't know how you can. Offensively, they're just not great. 10-win season, that's good, but they kind of shown they're just not there when it comes to playing Ohio State and Michigan. All right, last one on this one.
By the way, I just now noticed that. Why is that game in Detroit?
Yeah, Detroit. I don't know. Maybe that's a neutral site game now. I don't know. Maybe Michigan
Why would
State
Michigan State give up a home game with Penn State? I mean,
yeah,
that's dumb.
I don't know. That's really weird. I just noticed that as well. Don't know the story on that one. All right. Oregon State and Oregon, the Civil War. Listen, Oregon State lost last week, so it takes a little bit of a luster out of this game, but still, it's a big-time game and a huge rivalry. More intense than people think. These two teams really hate each other. I'm sure with the conference situation, it's even worse now. But Oregon seems like the better team. They're a 14-point favorite. What do you think about the Ducks here?
Well, I think you nailed it. Some of the luster is off of this one with Oregon State losing at home to Washington. A tough game, physical game, played well, just didn't win. Probably could have. I don't know if they should have. I just don't like that situation. Coming off a tough home loss, and now you got to go to Eugene against an Oregon team that's rolling. I don't like that at all. I don't like the quarterback matchup. I'm going Oregon to beat them and cover.
Yeah, I think Oregon's going to win and cover as well. And it's a lot of what you said. Really, really, really tough game.
Yeah.
Hard to bounce back after that. Really physical game. And this is it as well. Look, Oregon has everything to gain here. Yep. Where Oregon State, it's just like a laugh that, hey, we knocked off our rival. Yeah. Yeah. So, we're both on the Ducks. All right, let's go to Saturday. Game of the day, without any doubt. Ohio State and Michigan. Boy, it seems like a long time ago now, Papa Dude, where Michigan just couldn't beat Ohio State. Not only have they beat them the last couple of years, I know the scores were close enough to where you say, hey, they didn't dominate the game. If you watch the games, Michigan has dominated Ohio State, and especially on the line of scrimmage. What about this year? It's in Ann Arbor, Michigan, a 3-point favorite?
Well, I think it should be at night so everybody could watch it. But anyway, it's kind of always at 11 o'clock, seems like.
Yep.
The weather looks good, 37 degrees. So that looks good.
Yep.
What do you got to choose from in these two? Are they not identical this year? Seems like
This year, it seems like Ohio State is playing more of the Michigan style of football. Yeah.
They're not running up and down the
No.
field on people. They're smash mouth. The
Mhm.
scores are low. Their defense is playing well. I don't know how you find anything in this game.
Mhm.
You got to go with the home field. That is a big advantage. Michigan has played one team all year. One.
Sort of, right?
Yeah.
Like, and the one team is Penn State, who we
That's right.
know is just okay.
Yeah. I don't think they have played anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard to go into Penn State and win. But there's a lot of teams in the country that could do that.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State's schedule's not a whole lot tougher when you look at it.
Yeah.
So, they have played Notre Dame, and they went in there and won that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big thing. It's really hard for me to pick this game. I don't know how good Michigan is. I don't know. I don't think their quarterback is great. I don't think their offense is great.
I would disagree. I think the Michigan quarterback's going to be the difference in the game. But go ahead.
He may be. And if you believe that, then you got to take Michigan. And I'm going to go ahead and take them. But I won't be a bit surprised if Ohio State wins this game.
I think your last comment's fair, but to me, JJ McCarthy, I feel like it's a situation where they haven't really had to ask him to do a lot, but he made some plays against Penn State that I was really impressed with. I think it's Michigan's game to lose. I really think they've got the better team this year. I do like Ohio State seems to be like a little bit of a tougher team.
Oh, yeah.
We kind of compared Ohio State to Lincoln Riley a little bit and his coach teams, but they seem tougher this year. But
they are.
I don't think they're tough enough. I mean, maybe they're tough enough. I don't think they're good enough. I think Michigan's a little better than them.
They're tough enough.
I think they are, but still, I feel like the game's going to be like 28-17 Michigan. I just feel like their defense will be able to stop Ohio State enough. McCarthy's going to make enough plays. So give me the Wolverines.
Okay, I'm going to go 21-17.
All right. Well, that would be very close for sure. 21-17, 28-17, something like that. It should be a great game, and it may be a situation if it's like what I'm saying. Okay, it's 28-17, but Michigan scored with 3 minutes left to make it 28-17 type of thing. So I think he's awfully. I just think they're awfully talented on offense. I don't really think their stats reflect it because I don't think they've had to play very many games where they've had to play 4 quarters. And I think you're going to see a pretty good Michigan performance in this one. All right, Dennis said earlier he does not think Michigan-Ohio State's the game of the day. It's because of this one, Kentucky and Louisville, the Battle of Kentucky here. Louisville, holy cow, do they have a lot to play for.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to get to 11-1. They still have a very, very outside chance, but an outside chance to make the college football playoff. Kentucky 6-5, struggling. Louisville 7-point favorite. Who you got in this one?
Yeah, Louisville's going to have a million things go their way to get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Dennis does not like Kentucky.
Dennis hates Kentucky. I can confirm.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Louisville they just keep winning. A great win last week at Miami for them. That was a tough chore for them, and they went down there and passed it. Kentucky is not any good. They're just not. They're going to play a great game. Louisville is better. I think Louisville's going to cover and beat the Wildcats.
So the question, Rob said Keeneland or Churchill. Of course, Louisville, Churchill, Keeneland. That would be Kentucky. Aaron Lexington. The answer is always Keeneland when it comes to that for me. Keeneland over Churchill, 8 days a week for this guy right here. However, Louisville, in the football game. Give me the Louisville Cardinals as well, minus the 7. I think they're better than Kentucky. I think they'll shut them down. I think you're going to see a team that fights and scratches and claws Wildcats, but I think Louisville gets it done. Give me the Cardinal. All right, let's keep it going. Texas A&M. Oh boy, how are they going to respond? Going down to Baton Rouge to take on LSU. LSU 11-point favorite. I kind of think this is going to be ugly, Papa Dude. What about you?
I can't stand either one of these teams. I just can't stand them. I just can't stand them. Hate Texas A&M. I'm almost getting where I hate them as much as Texas. You know,
not me, but close.
Maybe. It's close, and they're so full of shit. They just make you sick.
Yeah.
LSU is just a bunch of weirdos. 11-point favorites at home. I'm going to take LSU to win. Easy.
Yeah, I'm with LSU all day. I said it yesterday. I know several A&M people. They're very normal, intelligent people until you start talking about college football, and it's like, Jesus, what planet are you living on? I'm so delusional. There's no bigger delusional fan base than A&M. They've never been any good, period. Go look it up. They're not a good football program, but they act like they are. So, give me LSU in this one. The difference is LSU fans, they're crazy, maybe a tiny bit delusional, but at least they've done something. I mean, that's a program that wins national titles.
That's right. They've won 2 or 3 here in the last
exactly
20 years.
LSU's pretty damn good nationally, 1 out of 5 years at least, if not more.
I don't think Texas A&M's ever won one, have they?
Texas A&M is completely irrelevant when you're outside of their fan base, period.
That's right.
End of discussion. All right, Alabama and Auburn. What's that?
They got a hell of a stadium, though.
They do, and they have a great support, from their fans.
Yeah.
An unbelievable stadium, completely irrelevant.
Yeah,
most 99 years out of 100. All right, Alabama and Auburn. That's next. The Iron Bowl. I told you 2 weeks ago after Auburn routed Arkansas, I said, well, maybe Auburn and Alabama will be a decent game.
Yes.
Then New Mexico State came in and beat Auburn. Now Alabama is a 14.5-point favorite. I mean, is there anything to sweat here for the Tide?
No, Auburn. It's just hilarious. I mean, this is the Iron Bowl. Strange things happen in games like this. This is as close to Oklahoma and Texas as you can get.
Yeah.
I've seen Auburn teams upset them before, but not an Auburn team that lost by 21 points. And no disrespect to New Mexico State. Come on. You can't lose to 21 and beat Alabama. No. Yeah, 14.5. They're going to cover. I take the Crimson Tide to kick the shit out of them.
I think it's going to be an easy win for Alabama. I think this will be, I don't know, the way they're playing right now, and we'll talk about it next week. You kind of think they could beat Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I never really thought that, but the way they played after the bye, it does make you think they could have a shot. And I think they're going to roll Auburn here. I do think Auburn will play better, but
yeah, there is one thing that I forgot. I guess I better throw it in there. Remember, I think it was just 2 years ago. They played down there at Auburn.
Yeah.
And Auburn had them beat.
Yep.
And Auburn was terrible.
Yep.
And had them beat. So, but Auburn wasn't coming off a loss to New Mexico State. There's one thing. They've heard this all week down there. The players they've taken a beating in the press and everything else all week. The media has just berated them.
Yeah.
Sometimes that will make you play a little bit better than what you are, but I just don't see this. I don't think they can overcome that. I just don't.
I don't either. But you're right. I mean, I just can't take Auburn after that. No. I just can't. They haven't, other than a couple games, they really haven't been all that good anyway. So, but you're right. Rivalry game. Who knows? Maybe.
Yeah. If you want to take a shot at the point spread, you could do dumber things than to take Auburn plus 14.5.
Yeah, that's probably fair. If you want to take plus 14.5, that's probably fair. All right. Arizona goes on the road, take on Arizona State. Another pretty good rivalry that nobody really talks about a whole lot because they're never usually very good. But guess what? This year, Arizona is pretty good. They're 10.5-point favorites here on the road. at Arizona State. I don't know. I don't really feel like Arizona's going to struggle here. What about you?
I don't think they should. The thing is, though, they're coming off 4 straight big wins, and they're not stupid. They read the papers. They know Arizona State's not very good, even though it's their rival. Is there a tendency to let down a little bit after 4 straight games? And you look at their record of 3-8, and you think, wow, we've won all these other games. This is going to be fairly easy.
Mm-hmm.
And you take on an Arizona State team that has played a little better lately. This is their bowl game. This is their chance to redeem what's been an awful season. That happens a lot. It really does. So I have a friend that went to school at Arizona, and I taught with her for several years. And this is a lot bigger rivalry, like you said, than most people think, because it doesn't usually mean much. So this will be a spirited game. I do think it's going to be closer than people think, but I think Arizona will go ahead and cover late.
I'm with you. I'm taking Arizona as well. I just don't think Arizona State's where they need to be. It's going to take a while to kind of rebuild that, I think. So I'm going Arizona as well. All right, let's go to Stillwater, Oklahoma State at home, 17-point favorites against BYU. We saw BYU play decent last week. I think that more had to do with Oklahoma was awful. But do the Cougars have any chance here in Stillwater?
I think they laid it all on the line against OU, and they played as well as they could play. They played really well. Oklahoma State, we don't know. You just don't know what you're going to get.
No, game after game, they are different. Every single game, it's a different team. Yeah,
I think they're going to win. I don't think there's any question there. It's just the line. 17 too many for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. For the team we've seen, the Oklahoma State team we've seen the last 2 weeks, 17 is a lot. A BYU team that's not awful. Mm-hmm. So that would be the only thing. And again, you can find better things to bet. I think this one's too iffy to bet.
Yeah, I lean BYU in the points. Yeah. I don't think they're going to win, but I do think, with OSU, hell, you may look at your phone and they're behind 14-0 right off the bat. I mean, that's the type of team there. And you may look at their phone and they're up 14-0 right off the bat. So
it's a strange team.
They're a very weird team. I don't know who they really are. It looks like they're going to go to the Big 12 title game though. And I would be shocked if they gave Texas a game next week, but yeah, I think they get it done here. I think Oklahoma State wins, but I'm going to take BYU plus 17 in this one. All right, Vanderbilt, Tennessee 27-point favorite here against Vanderbilt. Anything to talk about?
I don't think so, unless Tennessee just doesn't show up in the right mental attitude, because they've had a disappointing year. Their expectations were a lot. So again, you look at the point spread, but Vanderbilt is just playing it out. So again, can't you find something better to bet than this?
Yeah, I have no interest in this game. Vanderbilt, they're like they are every year. Tennessee, they're not very good, but they could probably cover. But who wants to play Tennessee minus 27 against anybody right now? That's how I look at it. All right, Liberty looking for a perfect regular season. They finally got ranked. They're number 25. They're 11-0. They're on the road against UTEP. Liberty is 16.5-point favorite.
I'd say that's about right. Long journey out to El Paso. That'd be the only thing, but UTEP's not very good. I think Liberty covers.
I think Liberty's going to cover that one as well and roll on to that 12-0 season and probably play New Mexico State. I think actually that's a done deal. Actually, I think so they're going to play next week. That could be an interesting game. New Mexico State on a roll. We'll see what happens at that one. Washington and Washington State. This one, earlier in the year looked like Washington State was pretty good. They're not. Washington, I couldn't have been more impressed with them last week. A huge win. Mm-hmm. They're going to look for a perfect 12-0 season here for the regular season anyway. What do you think?
I think they cover that. I think they win pretty easy. They've got all the motivation they need. They got to get to 12-0. It's at home. If it was in Pullman, I might think that might be a little bit of a stretch, the spread, but I don't think so. It's Seattle. In fact, I think it ought to be more.
Yeah, I think Washington gets it done pretty easy. I think they're going to be fired up for this game. May take a minute to get going after that physical game, but I think they're going to take care of them. So I got Washington covering that as well. This one gets a little bit interesting.
Yep.
Florida State on the road against Florida, obviously a huge rivalry. I think if Jordan Travis was playing, I don't think anybody would be worried about this game for the Seminoles. However, of course, he is not. A brutal injury for him. He's out for the season. Obviously, Florida State is 6.5-point favorite, backup quarterback. He does have some experience, not a ton. What do you think? Florida State, Florida.
Yeah, this is a scary one. Florida's terrible. They don't like Florida State. Florida could be 7-4 instead of 5-6, but they're 5-6 for a reason. Oh, I would be scared if I was Florida State having to go into Gainesville. This will save Florida's season if they can knock off an undefeated team, and the undefeated team is going in there wounded. So you just don't know how good that quarterback is. So you got to look at other things. Can they run the ball? Can they do simple things to beat Florida and go in there and not ask the backup to win the game for them? Are they that much better than Florida? That's what you got to decide. 6.5. Vegas is really being cautious on this one, aren't they? I think this would probably be a 14, 15-point line.
Yep.
If the quarterback was playing. So they think Florida State is good enough to do it. They've set that line, kind of sucker a lot of us to take Florida State. But I just think Florida is not very good. So I'm going to take Florida State. It may be a 7-point game, maybe 10. I could see 27-17 maybe. Or do you think they'll blow them out? I just don't think they will.
Every time I've watched Florida, except for last week, I thought, boy, they suck.
Yeah.
And
they played good.
I'm going Florida State. I'm going Florida State minus the 6.5. I think next week's game will be much tougher for them. And I say that because Louisville's got a really good defense. They're a better team than Florida.
Yeah.
They can do some things to you offensively as well. I don't know what Florida. I just don't think Florida's good enough. If they were what you just said, if they were 7-4, say they did win that game last week and they didn't get beat by Arkansas, and it's like, then I would almost say, okay, I think Florida can beat them. I don't think they're good enough. So I think Florida State's going to beat them. If you want to take Florida plus the 6.5, I mean, you can.
I think it's risky.
I kind of think Florida State wins it by 10. I think it's like 30-20.
I think it's risky if you take Florida and the 6.5.
If you take Florida, you are clearly and without any doubt taking the worst of the two teams. But with that being said, you also are saying, okay, Florida State's without their quarterback, all the pressure's on them. We got them at home. So all the outside factors do favor Florida a little bit. I think Florida State will kind of rally. Bodmaker, the backup quarterback, he's not like, let's say, Oklahoma situation. He's not a true freshman. He doesn't have limited time. I mean, he's played in a few games. I think he'll be good enough to beat Florida. I really do. All right, let's go. Notre Dame, Stanford next. This is a nothing game. Notre Dame, 26-point favorites. I don't really know what there is to break down here. I guess, will they cover that or not?
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
They haven't hardly beat anybody by 26.
It's been if I'm a Notre Dame fan, I'm not happy.
No, me neither.
I think it's been a pretty disappointing year, honestly.
It has.
So, but I think they get it done here and get their 9th win. Georgia Tech, Georgia 24-point favorites. Sometimes you look up in the first and second quarter of this game and it's close and you'll be like, oh, okay. And then you'll watch it and be like, oh, they got beat by 50 or not 50, but 30. I mean, is it going to be that again? I think Georgia will roll them. What do you think?
I agree. I don't think there's much to talk about.
No. I don't think we talk about Georgia seriously until next week, do we?
Yeah, this is a rivalry game, but not really.
No, because Georgia Tech just hasn't been competitive with them. I mean, in recent years. So, Georgia should roll there. All right, 3 more to go here. I think these are 3 pretty darn good ones, actually. Clemson on the road, taking on South Carolina. Let's not forget, South Carolina did beat Clemson last year. at Clemson. South Carolina wins here. They're bowl eligible.
Mhm.
Clemson, they're not a great team. They're playing a little bit better.
Mhm.
7-point favorites here. What do you think?
I think both teams have won 3 in a row. I know South Carolina has.
Yep.
Clemson's kind of righted the ship. They're playing much better.
Yep.
South Carolina, a bowl game for South Carolina is an accomplishment. It really is. Big win over Kentucky last week. So they're playing well. The game's there. It'll be packed. They're not good enough. I'm going Clemson to cover.
All right. You're going Clemson to cover in this one. I'm going South Carolina to cover in this one.
You can't bet on Spencer Rattler.
Listen, I don't think you can bet on Clemson either. I don't think Clemson is very good either. So I'm going more towards, I think it's a 3-point, 6-point type of game. Give me the home team.
So
give me South Carolina.
This is Spencer this is it for him, isn't it?
I think, hopefully.
Or did he get a COVID year?
Maybe, but
I think he did.
I don't know. This should be it for him, one way or the other.
Well, you really think? Well, we'll talk about the quarterback situation in pros later. He might get drafted.
If Tommy DeVito's starting,
that's right.
I would think Spencer could. All right. 2 more to go. Iowa State and Kansas State next. Kansas State, number 19 in the country here. They got to be kicking themselves. Boy, they had Texas beat, and they didn't do it, and now they're probably not going to make the Big 12 championship game. 10-point favorites here against the Cyclones in Manhattan.
Iowa State's done, I think.
Okay.
They don't play as well on the road anyway. Give me K-State pretty easy in this one.
K-State pretty easy for you. I kind of agree. I think they're going to get it done here. Good, or I shouldn't say good, a decent season for the Cyclones, but I don't think they get win number 7 here. I think Kansas State gets the victory. And then finally, North Carolina at North Carolina State. North Carolina is a 2.5-point favorite here. That shocked me.
Me too.
I'm all over the Wolfpack, but is it too good to be true?
It sure seems fishy to me.
Don't you think they're a much better team the last half of the season?
Well, you got to look at how these two teams are coming into the game.
Yeah.
North Carolina fell apart after we jinxed them, and North Carolina State's playing fantastic. They've just been beating everybody.
Yeah.
And doesn't that mean something? And the game's in Raleigh. So, yeah, I'm all over. I saw that line too. This one is the most fishy of all that I've seen. So I like the Wolfpack as well. I don't get it.
We're both going Wolfpack there. So, I don't get that one at all as well. All right. Any other college games you want to talk about that you've kind of seen before we get off and go to the NFL?
No, not really. I tell you what, though, these are some good ones. This is always a tough week to pick because so many of these games are rivalry type games, and they're hard to pick. They really are.
I totally agree. It's always tough.
Hard to pick. Here we go.
Yeah. All right. Now let's go. We got a couple of other topics. We'll save it for the end though, because we're going to do the NFL here real quick, and then we'll kind of get into why the NFL is so bad. And by the way, if you didn't see it, Tom Brady came out and said, hey, the NFL kind of sucks this year. So we'll talk about that and kind of our thoughts on it. And I've got a little bit of talk on the NIL situation as well. So let's get to these games, though, and let's get Thanksgiving. Packers and the Lions. How long has it been since the Lions have been good and we get a nice early game here on Thanksgiving? Lions 7.5-point favorites. Packers coming off of a win makes it a little more interesting. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I mean, usually it's switched around the other way.
Absolutely.
The would be 7.5-point favorites. And as we go through this, let's just kind of look at quarterback situation for all these teams as we go through it.
Yep.
And try to figure out why most teams are so weak at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So we got the Packers and the Lions. The Lions eked out a game they should have won fairly easy last week. They got kind of fortunate. They're 8-2. I would classify the Lions as a good team, not a great team.
Yeah.
They're in a division that they're better than the rest of them. They should cover this game against Green Bay. Green Bay did win, but it was the Chargers. So how much are you going to take into that?
None.
No. So I like the Lions to cover the 7.5.
I don't care that they beat the Chargers. Everybody beats the
No.
Chargers. So yeah, I'm taking the Lions to cover here as well. I think they get it done. Okay, you want to keep track of
Okay, so
quarterback?
so we got Goff for the now.
Good.
Some of these teams, I'm going to tell you, I don't even know who the hell the quarterback is. All right, so you got Goff
He's good.
on a scale of 1 to 5. What are you going to rank him? All right, let's go 1 to 10. Where would you put him?
He's like a 7 or an 8.
Okay, I'm going to go 7 as well.
Okay.
And then you got Love, who would be like a 2 or 3.
I'd put him at a 3. Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right, so we have a quarterback who is a 7 on an 8-2 team.
Mhm.
All right, and Ray Goff. Well, we'll go through this and see where he ranks as far as from 1 to 32, where we have him in there at 7.
Okay. Let's again. This is not ranking. He's not the 7th best. It's just on a talent scale of 1 to 10. He's a 7.
He's not a 7, so he's going to be up at the top probably.
Gotcha. All right. Commanders and the Cowboys next. Cowboys are 12.5-point favorites here. Commanders, they played really just super well last week. They got beat by the Giants. So
yeah, they were really impressive last week. That was a nice loss. Really pathetic. I mean, just
it's a joke. Yeah.
How many points did they give up in that game?
Like
in the 20s?
Yeah, I can't even remember now. Yeah.
The Giants couldn't score on Georgia. I don't think. Not 20. Not in the 20s. I really don't. I don't think they could. So 12.5, huge spread in the NFL. Dallas needs their ass kicked if they don't cover that. Wouldn't you
agree? They should cover it. I agree. Yep.
All right. So we got Prescott, who neither one of us like.
Probably a 6.
For a pro quarterback, yeah, probably a 6. In this crop of quarterbacks, he's probably one of the top.
But still, talent-wise, I'd say he's a 6.
Yeah. Okay. So who the hell are we going to put for the Washington quarterback?
Sam Howell's probably a 2.
He's an up-and-comer. So you got him a 2. I think a potential. Let's put him a 3. No, all right, he's a 2. All right, next.
Okay, yeah, 2 or 3, yeah.
We put Love at 3. Wouldn't you say he's at least a 3?
Yeah, okay, put him as a 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Right.
Put him as a 3.
We're rolling so far. All right, here we go.
All right, 49ers on the road taking on the Seahawks. 49ers are 7-point favorites.
Seahawks let me down last week, but it was a bad break. They would have won that game in Los Angeles. Too many points. I got the Seahawks plus 7.
Oh boy. Gosh, yeah, give me the Seahawks plus 7.
All right. Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. Probably I guess like a 5.
A 5.
Yeah. I'd say
this is a classic example of a guy who is fortunate to be on a team that has a ton of talent. Now, he does make some throws from time to time, and he manages the game extremely well. So we can say he's outplaying his talent.
Yeah,
he's not playing like a 5.
No, but he's a 5. When the talent got hurt around him, he wasn't very good.
All right. You got him 5. Okay. Yep. And then we got Gino.
Yeah,
he's
probably a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, he's a career backup.
Yeah.
Who's starting on a 6-4 team that should be 7-3.
Yeah, he's a 5 or 6
right there. I agree. Yeah.
Okay. Dolphins and the Jets. Dolphins are 9.5-point favorite here on the road against the Jets. This will be laughable. The Dolphins shouldn't have much trouble here, right?
Well, they only beat the Raiders by 7. This is in New York. The Jets are going to play their ass off. They always do. They are laughable. I would agree. I'm going to take the Jets plus 9.5. I don't think the Dolphins will slaughter them.
I'm gonna take the Dolphins minus 9.5.
Right.
Give me the Dolphins. Miami's got Tua.
He's better than a Tua.
He's better than Goff, right?
I don't
Is he
think
the
so.
same as Goff?
I don't think he is.
You think he's
When does
worse?
he win a big game? Never.
He's a 7.
Okay. Not for me, but okay.
Well, what do you have him as?
6 at the best.
Okay, put him as a 6.
If he didn't have a funky name,
Yeah.
when do they beat somebody that's good?
Yeah, but I mean, he's not bad. Like I would take him over Geno Smith, and we've got him at like a 6. I would take him over Dax.
Yes.
You think Dax is better than Tua? I don't.
I think they're comparable.
Okay, well then he's a 6 then.
Okay. Is
Oh.
anybody even arguing with us? I don't even see any.
JL says, "Come on, you think Hal is the same as Jordan Love?"
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
I don't feel like we said anything too bad there.
Dennis makes a good point.
What?
Purdy is a 6 because if Dak was playing for San Fran, the record would be the same.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Boyle is the quarterback. That's for
Who?
Boyle is the quarterback for the Jets this week.
Boyle.
Yeah,
but we got to rank their other guy, not Rodgers.
Well, if it's Wilson or if it's Boyle, it's a 0.
No,
we can move on.
Not a 0.
They're both 0s. Yeah, they are.
Okay, you got to at least have a point.
Okay, well, they're 1s.
Scale, so he's a 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Saints at the Falcons next. Falcons a 1-point favorite in this one. I don't know. I hate this division. What do you think?
I don't see how the Falcons are favored over anybody.
I lean the Saints in this game.
I do too. I like this game.
Okay, you like the Saints.
Can't believe I'm saying that, but I like New Orleans to win.
All right, now you got Carr for the Saints.
Okay, he's a 5.
He's a 4 or a 5. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, run of the mill.
Okay.
Desmond Ridder for the Falcons.
Who?
Desmond Ridder for the Falcons.
He's right there with Howell.
I think he's below. I think he's a 2.
2. Okay.
I view him below Howell and below Love.
He's the future of the Atlanta franchise, and he's a 2.
He sucks. Yep.
Okay.
All right, next game, Steelers and the Bengals here. Pittsburgh -1.5 here on the road against the Bengals. Pittsburgh fired the offensive coordinator. Will it help?
That was a shocker to me.
Mm-hmm.
They don't usually do desperation things like that. You know what?
No.
He must have really been bad. They don't fire coaches. They just don't. To me, when you fire the offensive coordinator in the middle of the season, that's a desperation move. And I don't see that out of them that
Not very often.
No.
If ever.
They're obviously favored because Burrow is out, and that is a major blow. So I'm going to take the Steelers to win.
Yeah, I'll take the Steelers as well. I think they'll play pretty well in this spot. I think Burrow being out, that's the end of the Bengals.
Yeah.
So we got to rank Burrow, obviously, not the backup. So is Burrow like a 9?
When he's healthy, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a 9.
Kenny Pickett is an interesting one.
3.
See, again, I view him Love, Pickett, Howell. Yeah, 3. I agree.
Okay.
If not, maybe a 2 even.
Yeah.
He sucks.
So far.
Okay, Panthers and the Titans here.
Wow,
Titans,
what a game.
these games are so awful every week other than 2 or 3. The rest of them are not watchable. We'll talk about this in a second. Panthers 1-9, Titans 3-7. Titans are 3.5-point favorite.
Okay. Got to take Tennessee.
I would think Tennessee.
Yeah, got to.
I would think Tennessee as well here. So, all right, the Panthers, this is a tough one. It's a rookie, Bryce Young.
So far, no better than a 3.
He hasn't looked very good. It's probably
he has nothing around him.
nothing. So it's hard. You got to kind of just judging for what he's been, and it hasn't been very good. So 3.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Will Levis?
He's awful. So
He doesn't look very good to me either. I mean, he played okay week 1, but like he doesn't look like a guy. It's like,
is
yeah,
he the
he's
guy
gonna.
at Kentucky.
Yeah,
He was awful there too. So he's a 2.
I agree. All right, I agree. 3 and a 2. Okay, Buccaneers and the Colts. These games are just awful. The Buccaneers are 2.5-point underdogs here in Indianapolis. I actually kind of like Tampa a little bit in this one.
Well, they're coming off a tough games. The only thing. That's what worries me. They're coming back from San Francisco. They didn't play bad. So that's going to be tough to come back. They're probably better than the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
They can't catch the damn ball either.
No.
Their receivers can't catch the damn ball.
Nope.
So I'm going to take the Colts. I'm going to jinx the Colts.
Yeah, I'll take Tampa. We'll see what happens here. Mayfield, I don't know, 2? 3?
You know what? He has not played bad this year.
He hasn't, but he's still not very good. He's
better than a 2. He's a 3.
All right. I'll put him at a 3, but
Okay.
no higher. Are we ranking Anthony Richardson? Are we ranking Gardner
Anthony
Minshew? Who are we
Richardson.
ranking for the Colts?
What Anthony play? Like 3 games?
Yeah, so probably Minshew's who we have to rate. He's a 2.
You know what would really be hilarious is to rate their backups.
Yeah, well,
These guys,
we've seen most of them. I mean,
they're absolutely horrible.
yeah.
So Anthony Richardson, I thought I did not see him enough. I thought it was the dumbest pick I've ever saw.
He looked better than I thought he was going to.
Yeah, well,
But
he would have to look better than I thought he was going to. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I don't understand any way, shape, or form to pick him that high. But anyway, I don't know. I don't think. Well, Minshew would be like a 1.
Okay, I'm with that. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of 1s, these are 2 1s right here. Patriots and the Giants are next. Patriots 3-point favorites. I don't think the Giants can win 2 in a row. I'll take New England.
Yeah, I'll take New England.
We both agree that these are 1s, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, Mac Jones is it's
horrible.
sad.
And he's had plenty of time to get better.
Yep, he's awful. And I mean, honestly, and people are gonna go crazy when I say this. Okay, Tommy DeVito, he's a 1. Tyrod Taylor, maybe you could say he's a 2 if he was playing. Daniel Jones is no higher than a 2 either. I'm sorry. People get so mad at me all the time, including Somich. It's like the guy has done absolutely nothing. Period.
Right.
He wasn't any good to start this year either. He's like a 2. But no matter who's in there, it's not good for the Giants.
So far, in this illustrious group we're going with, we have, and this is just our opinion, obviously, we have 4 guys above a 5 so far. And we might hit a couple here. Again, like I said, most of these games every week are unwatchable. This is a good one to me. The Jaguars and the Texans. Yeah. The Texans are the one team they're kind of young. They're up and coming. They're a little bit exciting. I like that. They're 2-point underdogs at home against the Jaguars. Another team, they're pretty darn good. They kind of had some struggles early. They're playing pretty well right now. What do you think about this game? Yeah, this is a good one. I think Houston should be favored. I'm taking the Texans to beat them. I don't think Jacksonville's that good. They're not terrible, but I mean, for 7-3, shouldn't they be better than that? I mean, they can lose to anybody. So I'm taking the Texans in an upset.
Yep. I'm going to take the Texans as well. As far as quarterback goes, I think Lawrence is like an 8, 7 or an 8.
Potentially. I can't give him an 8.
Okay.
Because there's some games he don't play very well. So I'm going to go
7.
We'll go 7.
Okay. CJ Stroud.
He looks great.
He looks great. It's really tough to you don't want to say he's a 9 or a 10 because it's just the sample size is so limited.
Yeah.
He's at least a 7 though. And I I think
I think
higher,
that's
maybe.
yeah. For right now, I kind of agree, Dennis. He looks like a stud. He's
Yeah.
a 9 for now. I would agree. Long haul, I don't know. So let's just give him a 7.
He is, if he continues this, he's
Yeah.
a potential 9 or 10.
He definitely.
Yeah.
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 A little too soon to tell.
He's the only one that I'm excited to watch that's a young, like first year, second year quarterback right now.
Mhm.
So, all right, Browns and the Broncos next. Broncos are a 1-point favorite here. I'm going Denver to win again, Papa Dude. What about you?
I'm not.
You're going the Browns. Okay.
The Broncos have pulled off 2 miracles in a row.
Yeah.
Cleveland is solid.
They're pulling off these miracles because of the spirit of Russell Wilson, I feel like.
Oh, definitely. I like Denver a lot. I do. I root for them. They used to be my favorite team. And so, but I think Cleveland's going to win this game. I like the Browns. I like the way they're playing.
Okay.
I didn't think they would beat Pittsburgh, and they did.
I'm taking Denver. They're going to get him. Denver going to get him this week. All right. I don't. Russell Wilson is a 3, 4.
4 at the best.
A 4 would put him ahead of like Hal and Love. And
he's ahead of them.
Okay, 4 for him.
Just on experience.
Yeah, I agree. The Browns, who we supposed to? They've played 3 quarterbacks, like Thompson Robinson, or do you want to rate Deshaun Watson? And are they even different? How about?
No, I hate Watson. I think he's terrible. So 4.
Okay. We'll just put Browns quarterback, question mark,
Okay.
4.
Okay.
I mean,
hey, this is a 7-3 team we're talking about.
I know.
Yeah.
And they've won with 3 different quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Rams and the Cardinals next. This is even.
Yeah.
All right. I kind of like the Cardinals here. Who do you like?
Well, if it's even, I guess so. With what's his name? With Murray back, depends on if they want to play.
Yeah.
If they do, I think they beat them. So I'll take the Cardinals. I ain't betting them though. No way.
Okay. Cardinals have Kyler Murray. He can do things that are crazy. He also's hurt a lot.
Yep.
His track record's not great.
Nope.
I don't 5, 4, 5.
I got
5.
5.
Okay, 5.
Yep.
Stafford, current day Stafford.
No,
he isn't. A 5.
That's being generous.
I mean, he's been now. Look, I don't want to get the
was.
you hate Stafford talk because at times he's been a 9, an 8.
Yeah.
But I
Not
just
anymore.
think current day he's beat up. He's not great.
I would rather have him over a lot of these other guys with a good team.
Yeah.
I think 5 is fair enough.
Okay. But again, currently what he is probably a 5. Chiefs and the Raiders here. Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites. What do you got?
8.5.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a great Chiefs team.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Raiders will play them closer than that. So I'm going to take the Raiders plus 8.5.
Give me the Chiefs minus 8.5. I think the Raiders are total trash. Curtis Manlow chimes in just now. He's taking Ole Miss. I know he's an Ole Miss guy. We agreed with that one, Curtis. We like Ole Miss as well.
Yeah.
Ranking quarterbacks.
Deal too, Curtis. Big deal. Who cares?
Yeah. ranking quarterbacks.
I just like to give you crap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He knows. Ranking quarterbacks here. Mahomes a 10 for me.
Yes. How could you go anything different?
Yep. And then O'Connell. Are we ranking O'Connell for the Raiders or are we ranking Garoppolo? And again, does it even matter?
Yeah, he wins games. I'll give him a 3.
What did we rank Mayfield?
3.
Okay, Garoppolo, they're about the same to me. So 3. O'Connell, how about a 2?
A 2?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know who the hell he is. So,
well, Connell's the kid they're playing now. He's starting now.
Okay, we're going to get to that in a minute. All right. So,
all right,
yeah, I'll go. Yeah, that's fine. By the way, Okay. Well, we'll get to that at the end of this too. Okay.
Bills and the Eagles next. This is a good one. I know the Bills are struggling, but this is still a pretty good game. Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite. Will they kind of be hung over after that big game up at Arrowhead on Monday night?
Yeah, I think they will. They could lose this one.
I agree.
Yeah, this is kind of a trap. The Bills played pretty good, but it was the Jets, so take it for what it's worth. They're good enough to go in there. It's a short preparation week for the Eagles. They're riding high. I am very tempted to take the Bills plus the points. I'm going to.
I took the Bills plus the points as well. I think the Eagles will be a little bit flat. Now, these two quarterbacks, we're going to rank them. That's interesting.
It is.
Josh Allen at one time would have been an 8 and 9.
Oh, definitely.
I think he's more like a 7 now.
That's being generous.
You think?
I got to give him a 7 too, because he's been a 9. He's playing more like a 5 right now.
Yeah, and I think I'm losing confidence that he's going to elevate back up, but I still think it's there.
Well, we fired the offensive coordinator. He's going to get better.
Yeah, man, that's it. Always the offensive coordinator's fault. If you notice, Jalen Hurts. Shit,
You're going to be shocked on mine.
Go ahead.
I don't think he's any better than a 7.
That's what I was going to say.
I love the guy.
Yeah.
I don't think they're winning because of him.
No.
He's got great receivers. Now, when he needs to throw a good pass, he does.
Yeah.
And he's a leader.
Yeah.
But what we used to think of as NFL prototype quarterbacks, he's not. And I don't know. I just don't think he's great.
I think 7 is the right number for him.
He's a great leader.
Maybe
tough as a boot.
Yeah.
I would love to have him on my team. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you got the right number though.
I'm very I don't think they'll ever win a Super Bowl with him.
I think they might win this one. I think they're right there. I mean,
listen.
Hold on. I got to argue with you on this one. They should have, if they could have got one stop, they would have won the Super Bowl with him last year.
I know.
He played great in that game. No, I totally disagree.
The Chiefs need their ass kicked for losing that game.
Well, yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
And I don't think the Eagles are playing that well. They're winning games, but I don't think they're playing that well.
Yeah. Well,
and I root for them. I want them to win. Jalen Hurts, is one of my favorite players.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe that's why I rate him a little lower, because I'm just afraid they're going to lose or something. I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's keep going. We've got him at a 7. Ravens and the Chargers next. Baltimore 3.5-point favorite on the road against the Chargers.
Okay. Baltimore, easy.
Me too. Baltimore. Didn't even think about it.
I like this team.
Okay. Lamar Jackson, up and down and up and down. I've been with him. I think he's playing pretty high right now. I think he's in that 7 or 8 category.
Me too.
What do you think?
Yep. 7.
I think he's an 8.
Yeah, he could be.
Once they got a good offensive coordinator in there, he's been really good this year.
Yeah. Curtis makes a great point. He says, and that's kind of what I was trying to say, he's above average. He's better than that. But he's surrounded by elite talent in a league that isn't very good.
Yeah.
That hit the nail on the head right there.
Yep.
He's better than above talent, though.
He's talking about Jalen Hurts. Yep. Absolutely. Okay, Herbert.
Used to be a 9. I think he's a 5.
I'd say a 6.
Yeah, he's just not the same.
And I don't think a lot of it's his fault, but at the same time, you got to judge him on what you see.
Yeah.
And that's what it is right now. I mean, I'd love to have him, but
I would have liked to have him the version 2 years ago. I'm not sure now.
I just wonder how frustrated he might be you know.
I know.
All right, last game, Bears and the Vikings here. And then what a game. The Vikings are 3.5-point favorites here against the Bears. The Bears, they almost pulled an upset last week. What about this week?
I don't know. Minnesota blew that game. My goodness. They had that game with Denver. Had it. Played well, I thought. I'm going to give Minnesota another chance. I'm taking them to win.
Yeah, give me Minnesota. I think they get the job done as well. And then finally, who do we rank? Justin Fields, I guess.
Yeah, I got to do
Bears.
Fields. Okay, how many years are we going to give him to blossom?
To me, I mean, he's down there with Love and Hal and those guys. I mean, he's is what it is. Is it Cousins or Dobbs?
I'm telling you, out of this crop of quarterbacks, if we do Cousins, he's at the top. He's as good as the rest of these guys.
Well, as meaning like a
Not
5 or a
Mahomes,
6.
but he's a 6.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, he is. He's not bad.
Yeah. Okay. 6. What about?
I mean, how good is Minnesota? They're really not that good.
No, I agree. He's not too bad.
If you put Cousins with the 49ers, would that be an upgrade to the 49ers, maybe?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so he's pretty good. I've
So
always
what
said he's
about
pretty good.
what about Dobbs? Because he has
Dobbs
started
is playing
all
very well.
Dobbs has started all year.
Dobbs has played well.
I think he's like a 4.
Okay, let's break down to he's better than Mayfield. He's better than Stafford, I think, right now. Maybe not. Maybe that's going too far.
Maybe.
Yeah. Pickett.
Yeah.
Yep. Sam Howell. Yep.
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter. Yep.
Yeah.
Both the Jones boys.
Yes.
Yes. Look at how many we're going down here. He's better than.
Yeah.
Is he better than Russell Wilson? Maybe.
That's
not any worse.
They're about the same.
They are.
I hadn't even really thought about that comparison. They're kind of the same player in a lot of ways. Yep.
Yeah.
Current day.
Jordan Love, I believe he's better than him.
Yeah.
So it just leads to what we were going to talk about. Why are the quarterbacks in this league, they're supposed to be the best, best league. Why are they so bad?
I don't know.
Is it because the college game that they're coming out of now doesn't fit the pro game?
Could be a little bit of that. So read out who do we have above a 5?
Well, we were being generous too. We have Goff.
Okay.
Who they ran out of LA.
He's okay.
Well, he's playing really well.
Even at LA, he was all right. Yeah.
Okay, so we got him. We got Prescott.
Yeah.
We got Tua.
Yeah.
We got Lawrence. We got Josh Allen. That's 5. We got Mahomes. We got Jalen Hurts. We got Burrow. And we got Stroud.
So Mahomes and Stroud are fun. Burrow's hurt.
Herbert.
Mahomes and Stroud are fun. Burrow's hurt.
Yep.
Who else is? Josh Allen's not fun anymore.
Herbert. It's not.
He's not fun anymore.
Mm-mm.
So when I say they're not fun anymore, I mean they're not fun to really watch. Like they used to. When Josh Allen played, you knew you were going to see something good. Same with Herbert. Not so much anymore. So Mahomes and Stroud, is that all we really enjoy watching quarterback wise?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
That's the problem with the game right now.
That's bad. When you think about that, that is bad.
We don't have any quarterbacks. Look who we've lost on the last. Rodgers, Brady, Peyton Manning. I mean, I know that's been a few years.
Yeah.
We thought Allen was going to take over, but he's regressed.
Yeah.
Burrow's been hurt. So, and then you look at the quarterbacks that are coming out of college this year. What do you got?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you got Michael Penix at Washington. What kind of style is he? How's he going to fit in the pros?
Probably it's 50-50. He might be okay.
So
probably not. I mean, Bo Nix
is more of a pro type quarterback, I guess.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels down at LSU.
Jaden Daniels is another clone of all these other guys.
Yeah.
Is he a truth passer?
Yeah.
I don't
Caleb
think so.
Williams.
He's the same thing. The only thing with him, he could, to me, he looks more similar to Mahomes than anybody else.
Yeah.
But he is a weirdo, whereas Mahomes is not.
Boy, is that not the truth? Yeah.
And, you talk about Mahomes all you want, and he's not playing well. Mahomes is on a shitty team offensively. They're not any good.
Mahomes is playing fine.
They have
if you watch the games, he's playing fine.
He is.
Yeah.
He has no time to throw.
Yep.
They cannot protect him.
He has no time. Nobody gets open. When they get open, they don't catch the ball. Yep.
Other than Kelsey.
Well, yeah.
So I think Kelsey's slowing down a little bit, but he's still great. But
He's still really good, but he's probably not Kelsey from 3 years ago.
He can't be.
Right.
He's taken a ton of hits. I mean, he's played a lot of ball. He's
still the best tight end in the league, but
he is, and he has Taylor. So I mean, you can't criticize the guy. So, but he's not as good as he was.
Yeah,
he's just not. And Mahomes is carrying that team. That and their defense. Their defense is good.
And this is kind of my thought. Well, the defense for the Chiefs is fantastic for sure. This is my thing. Imagine being the GM of the NFL team with the most talented quarterback in the history of the game, and you're surrounded with blue light specials.
You want to know why, Curtis? You want to know why?
Why?
Look what they've had to pay Mahomes. Look what they've had to pay Kelsey. Look what they've had to pay Chris Jones. They don't have the money to go get these guys.
I think
it's as simple as that.
I think they tried to go the cheap route, try to go through the draft with some of these guys, try to kind of be a little Moneyball-ish. And honestly, probably the worst thing that could have happened, it worked last year. They did have a couple of veteran guys that they lost that aren't on the team this year. And I think they thought, okay, it'll work. We'll just throw everybody out there. And now they're saying, oh shit. Because the bottom line is, and this is one of the weirdest things ever, the Chiefs have lost 2 games this year. I know they've lost 3. One of them, they just got waxed against Denver in a terrible performance. The other 2 games they lost, they literally lost the game because receivers couldn't catch the ball. Not running the wrong routes, not fumbling. They literally couldn't catch the football.
Well,
I mean, that never happens in the NFL. I feel like that's the sole reason why a team loses a game.
But, they get ripped. And I'm not a Chiefs fan. Oh, far from it.
Yeah.
They get ripped for not signing Tyreek Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They had to make a decision. Did they give him this a bunch of money?
Yeah.
When he's kind of a character-wise questionable dude. And I think they decided no.
Yeah.
And you just can't go out and just buy these people.
Yep.
You can't do it. The bottom line is make money. You pay Hill and lose Kelsey? I don't think so, Dennis. I think Kelsey was already signed, wasn't he?
I think it's 6 in one hand, half dozen the other. I think
you couldn't afford them all.
Yeah. And again, they got away with it last year.
Yes.
They lost even more off of that team. They kind of lost like that. I can't even think of the guy's name right now. He's in Sammy Watkins. They lost him.
They couldn't sign him either.
That's kind of like your safety valve type of guy. Like, if it's 3rd and 8, we're going to go to him if they got Kelsey covered, and he's going to at least catch the ball. I
think another issue they have is the offensive line.
Okay. I don't think it's great, but I also think it's getting exposed because nobody's open.
Could be.
And he's having to hold the ball a little bit longer than normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Chiefs were, they were between a rock and a hard spot with Mahomes.
And this is another thing. I think Curtis Manilow talks about Sky Moore. That was a guy they were super high on.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out.
Yeah. And that's
and when
happens.
That's a guy that you got to hit on a guy like that, right? Like that Rashee Rice guy. That's another one. You got to hit on those, right? And I think Rice is decent, but he isn't that guy. They just don't have that guy.
Well, I'll tell you another thing too. There's 31 teams in the NFL that would like to have the Chiefs' problems.
Well, the bottom line is if they can just get their receivers to catch it.
That's right.
They're probably going to win the Super Bowl.
Yep.
They would be 9-1 if they. And again, as bad as we're talking about them, they're 7-3. They're probably one of the top 2 teams as far as to win the Super Bowl still. Maybe top 3.
Right.
But it is kind of a shame that you got this great quarterback and he's got nobody to throw it to.
I know. One other thing, just throw it real quick, because we want to get to yours, is are there too damn many penalties being called in the NFL?
Well, yeah. But
it's ruining the game.
I will say this. Most of them, it's happening. I mean, how many times do you see it? They try to run, around the end, and they hold the defensive end every time. I mean, there's too many.
There's just, I'm not really blaming the referees. It's just, it's just sloppy play.
Yep.
And it's ruining the flow of the game.
It's to the point. Most games, if a big play happens,
it's a penalty.
You don't even get excited until you know there's not a penalty.
Yeah.
And that just seems like it's happening all the time.
It's awful. And Monday night, and I'm not an NFL junkie like a lot of you guys are. I'm just not. I'm a college football junkie, and even the college games, too many penalties. But I was so looking forward to the Chiefs and the Eagles Monday night. The first time all year, I really was anticipating watching that game. I have to admit, I couldn't sit there and concentrate on it. There was just too much shitty play. Shitty play.
The game started off great. The first quarter was great. And I thought, all right.
Fast.
I thought, all right.
Yeah.
Good game. Good. And I'm with you. I don't care if the score is 14-10 or 31-27. I want to see a good football.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, we're going to see it. And the last 3 quarters were trash. Don't even try to argue. They were trash. It wasn't good. I know the game was close. I know it came down to the last. The football was awful.
Rob, you may have a great point, and you usually do. These damn challenges, I think that I hadn't really thought about that, Rob, till you mentioned that. That's what's slowing this game down.
Yeah.
All of the challenges at the college level and the pro level, we have too many stoppages. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't used to have these challenges.
Well, I think that's part of it. But look, I
think we have to have them.
The biggest part of it is, can we go a possession without a hold or an offsides or a false start
interference
or a drop pass or a pass interference or a fumble or just stupidity or
dumb stuff,
taunting penalties? And it's just
12
like
men on the field.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
A quarterback, unnecessary roughness when you just knock him down.
Yeah, or an unnecessary roughness where you just barely touch him. I mean, it's every game. It's like this.
It is.
Again, I don't mind watching a 13-10 game if they're playing a clean game.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. The games are too slow. That's why I just love the red zone on Sunday. That's why I can watch it on Sunday. They just go from one place to the next. I don't have to sit there and listen to all that bullshit.
Yep, for sure.
And it takes too long to decide the challenges too.
Yep. That's the thing. With the red zone, you skip out all that shit and you just see the highlights, basically.
Yeah.
Highlights plus. I mean, you see some other stuff too, for sure.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right.
Anything else before we get out of here?
I think we ripped the NFL to pieces.
Yep, we did. That's good. That's good for today. Well, it's funny because we've said it for 4 or 5 weeks on our show. Of course, that doesn't, I mean, who cares? But then when you see like Tom Brady come out and say it, you're like, yeah, it does pretty much suck.
No, I've
like,
heard a lot of people talking about how bad it is.
Well, yeah, people on our show and in the chat have said, God, this sucks this year, you know?
Yeah, it does.
And it's bad. So hopefully they get it fixed. All right. Let's see. We got like another second or two here. Dennis wanted to know, what's the worst Thanksgiving dish? What's the one dish you don't like?
Oh, let's see. Well, I don't like cranberry sauce at all.
No, I would agree.
I don't know whoever came up with that, but I mean, some people like it. I don't. I don't know if you call that a dish or not. That's the only place I ever see it is Thanksgiving. My mother used to make, and it's because my dad liked it. It was called Waldorf salad.
Never heard of that.
Well, I really don't know for sure what all it's got in it.
Yeah.
It's got apples, and I think there's some nuts in it, and there's some, I really don't know. But it was a Thanksgiving thing. It was hideous. I don't like sweet potatoes, but some people do.
Yeah.
That's mine. I pretty much like. There used to be a kind of a pie back. I'm old, so you guys probably never heard of it. It's called mincemeat. Have you ever heard of mincemeat pie?
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Oh, it was awful.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've never had it, but I have heard of it.
My grandmother used to. Yeah, but I don't think anybody makes that anymore. What's yours?
I don't like most of it, honestly.
No, he doesn't.
I
tell a story on him. Go ahead.
Turkeys, noodles, mashed potatoes. That's about it.
Okay, I got to tell this. So Sandy, my wife, because it was Aaron's birthday last week, and so she goes, "Do you want to go out to eat, or you want me to make something?" Mm-hmm. Well, of course, he says he doesn't care, and she goes, "Okay, what's your favorite meal?" And he goes, "I don't really have one."
Right, I don't.
So she texts me. I guess I was subbing that day.
Yeah.
Teacher that day. She texts me. She goes, "You're not going to believe this. Aaron just texted me, said he doesn't really have a favorite meal." And I said, "That doesn't surprise me."
No, I don't.
When he was little, we had to fix 2 meals, one for us and one for him. Anyway, he's very limited in what he likes.
Very, very much so. Like I said, I love the turkey. Well, I like the noodles. I like the mashed potatoes. That's it. Nothing else.
So it comes time for we said, okay, he loves ice cream cake, so we went and got an ice cream cake. And so we said, okay, where do you want to go eat? Where do you want to go eat?
Yep. So
he picks Five Guys.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It just was funny. So anyway, that's where we went. And by the way, that's the first time I've ever been.
See, and that's funny as well.
Could believe that either, so. Anyway,
what did you think of it? Did you like it?
I did.
Okay.
Definitely, we'll go back. Yeah.
All right.
So anyway, it's funny. What's it say here? I got a bonus question. Would you get something if some person in the family is like, "I worked really hard to make this"? Would you grab it and not eat it, or leave it, or what do you do? That's a good one.
I mean, I wouldn't eat it.
If I didn't like it, I wouldn't eat it. No.
Yeah, I mean, if it was something I know what I like and what I don't, and I wouldn't eat it.
Yeah, if it's just hideous.
You know what we'll end with this. You know what the most annoying thing to me is in the world? I'm serious about this.
Well,
when somebody maybe not somebody made it or whatever, just somebody says, "Oh, you'll really like this." I'd say, "Okay, what is it?" I said, "Well, it's got onions and it's got tomatoes and it's got celery and it's got all this stuff in it." She says, "But you won't even taste it." It's like, no, I won't like it actually. And I go, no, I hate onions. Oh no, you'll love this. No, actually, I won't. Like, stop. Like, it's
Yeah.
okay that I don't want to eat it. You know what I mean?
They
It
should
happens to me
respect.
all the time.
They
And it's
should
just like,
respect you. They should.
why
Yeah,
can't
but
you just leave me alone? Like, I don't want to eat it. You know, it's so annoying to me.
I agree. They should respect your feelings.
It's like,
They
why do
don't
you
realize
care?
how
Like,
picky a eater you are.
I just don't want it. Like, it's
Give this guy some chicken strips or a burger or a pizza, and he's fine.
fine. Yeah,
He
that's
doesn't.
all.
He doesn't sway off the path much farther than that, though. That's
No.
about it.
No, and all that would be fine. And I get it. Like, you may eat it and you may think it's so good. I'm not gonna like it. I can't even stand the thought of eating an onion, period. There's never anything in onions in that I'm gonna like. And it's
Well,
not offensive towards whatever you've made. That's just me. I can't do it. I hate it.
That's the way.
It's disgust. It's repulsive to me to think about it. And that's the truth. So no, I'm not going to like it. And don't try to trick me and give me something that has it in it, because I will taste it and I will hate it.
That's the way I am with fish or seafood.
Yeah.
They'll go, you don't like
Mm-hmm.
lobster? And I'll go, no. Oh, it doesn't taste like you think it does.
Yeah.
It tastes like it looks. And I can't do it. I just can't. I've tried. I've never tried to eat a lobster because I just don't think I would like a lobster. I can find better things to eat.
Yeah.
And so I've tried shrimp. I can't do it.
I guess my thing is like, I've just never understood the people that like try to force it on you. It's like, what? Like, I'm 40 fucking years old. Like, I know what I want to eat and what I don't at this point, you know?
Yeah, I mean, people love seafood. I don't. I just don't. And I've had fish. Grew up in a family that ate fish, not my immediate family, but my grandparents, and they fix fish every which way you could fix it. I mean, they were always fixing fish different. And we'd go over there and, hey, we try this. You're gonna like it. This won't taste like fish. Yes, it does. It tastes like fish if you don't like fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't stand to smell it cooking.
Same. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Dennis says that was fantastic to hear, because I feel the same way. And again, it's like, I love it. You love it. That's great. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't need to be involved in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's great. Like,
Sandy loves seafood, but she knows
great
to fix her shrimp or whatever she wants when I'm not going to be home, because then I don't smell it. Yeah. But the minute I come in the house, I knew she cooked it.
And I'll say this: I don't like seafood either, but I think Rob's right. When I'm on the coast and you see it, it looks better. It like you go to Florida, if you go to up in New Jersey, I've seen it. It's like, that looks a little bit different for what we see at home.
I've been with people that eat crab legs and they eat lobster.
Yep.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, for all you crab leg guys and lobster eaters. This looks like too damn much work to me. You take with a crab leg, you dig and you dig and you dig, and you get this little sliver of meat out of there. And it takes you forever to get this sliver of meat. It must taste like gold, though, because man, I don't have patience to do that.
Yeah. I've been with people. If you like it, you really like it.
I guess that's it. I guess so.
All right. Well, I got to get out of here. I got to go pick up the stuff for Thanksgiving tomorrow. We got a lot to do. All right. So I got to do that. So we're going to get out of here now.
We didn't get to your NIL thing. We're going to have a special show, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to go. We'll do it at some point. Yeah. But anyway, I got to get out of here. I got to go pick up stuff and get ready to do all of that. Right. We'll be back here next week for this show. We'll be back later on tonight. I really don't know when. Jared's finally getting internet to his house today, hopefully. So I think it'll be tonight at some point. We'll do blinkers off. We'll talk about all the big Thanksgiving weekend races. There you go. Looking for the right word. So, all right, guys, everybody have a happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, everybody have a great time this weekend, whether it be Thanksgiving or the Thanksgiving weekend. Good luck to all your wagers. and we will see you right back here on the channel tonight at some point, talking a little bit more about racing. All right, guys, we will see you. Have a good Thanksgiving, everybody.
Like this is Dudes Who Bet Sports. Dudes Who Bet Sports, it's your favorite show. Dudes Who Bet Sports, where degenerates go. Dudes Who Bet Sports, time to change your approach with Aaron Haldeman and his father, the coach. Let's ride.
Well, the Associated Press is full of shit